Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I actually recorded this video yesterday with me in front of the camera, but I recently shaved and I don't like the way that I look. And as I was editing that video, I was just like, you know what? I'm not liking this video. But that's the magic of YouTube. You can decide to record how you want. In this case, I'm scrapping the whole video, recording it again with me behind the camera now and just showing you guys the manga. But today we are going to go ahead and talk about all of the manga that I've been reading these past 2 months. So this stack right here in front of me, that is going to be my May reads, and then over there in the back is everything that I've been reading in June. I do plan to at least double that before the end of June, but for now that's everything that I've read. So we're just going to go ahead and go over all of this stuff, starting from the top of this stack right here. And first up, we have Do You Like Big Girls Volume 6. This was continues to be a fun read. It's not for everyone, definitely not for everyone. It is mature, as you guys can see right there. And it's just a slice of life manga of a volleyball team and a main character who is currently overseeing that team and them getting into a lot of sexy situations, I guess. If you guys like boobies, you guys like big girls, and you guys want to be entertained, because this one is pretty funny. Every single chapter just goes through a new situation with the team. Like I said, it's kind of slice of lifey, but it's fun. I like it, and if you guys like that sort of things, definitely consider picking this one up. So yeah, Do You Like Big Girls? I guess I'll put it right. Whatever, I'll just put it out of frame after I talk about it. Next up, we got Eminence in the Shadow Volume 6. This one continues to probably be my favorite isekai manga that I've read so far. Super fun. The only thing that sucks is that it does take a while for a new volume to get released. And also the volumes are very thin. It is yen press, and they release for some reason, some of their series, a lot of them actually, are very thin like this, and you get through them super fast. And I actually flipped through the pages to kind of recall what happened in this volume, and not much, because they're just very thin. But yeah, as I said, this is probably my favorite isekai, and I highly recommend this one. Definitely check this one out if you haven't already. I've heard the anime is very good as well, so I definitely want to check that out at some point. But the next one here is another isekai. I have this volume wrong. But I've read volume 1 a while ago. I don't know why that's here, but I did read volume 2 recently, and there was a huge gap between volume 1 and volume 2. So this is another one that I think even takes longer than Eminence in the Shadow to get new volumes released, because I read volume 1 back in October of last year, and volume 2 just got released a few months ago. I think it was released in May. But oh my god, guys, this one is very dark, very graphic, and definitely has very explicit content in here. If you guys have read volume 2, something happens with this sword and that girl, and if you guys have read this, you know what I'm talking about. But that had me with my mouth open. I couldn't believe they did something like that in a manga. But it was very entertaining, and I do like myself some dark series like this. But for those of you who don't know, it is an isekai, and our main character used to work as a game designer, and he was the guy that built all of the traps inside of a game. Well, he gets reincarnated into a fantasy world, and in this fantasy world, he gets the ability to create traps as well. And a lot of the time they're in caves, and caves are the perfect place for him to create traps. There's a lot of different corridors and stuff like that. So yeah, very fun to read. And the cool thing about this one is that we're actually kind of following the bad guys technically, although from the perspective of the bad guys, which we're following the devil princess, they are getting attacked by the heroes. And you can see that from like their perspective, the devils, or the creatures, are just trying to live, and these heroes are just kind of killing them for no reason, just because they're devils and monsters. And yeah, you kind of get a different perspective like that, where you kind of see the heroes as the bad guys in this series, and it's really fun to see our main character defeat the heroes with his traps. So yeah, definitely recommend this one. The only thing that sucks is having to wait for the new volume, and I don't know why I keep looking at this figure and I don't know what the heck is going on here. Like, she got her hand on the sword, but she also has her feet on it, and I don't know, it just looks weird to me. I don't know why they did it like this. It just throws me off every time. All right, I got cut off there, but we're gonna go ahead and continue with Shuzo Oshimi and Sweet Poolside. And not gonna lie, this is one of Shuzo Oshimi's more tame manga. If you've read any of his stuff, you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. There's no talk about sex or masturbation or anything like that. Although some of the scenes in here, he does make them a little bit sensual for what they're doing, but Basically, this series is about a girl who's super hairy and very self-aware of it, and she's not very confident about her body because of that. And then we got this dude who is also not very comfortable with his body because he doesn't have any hair on his skin. His skin is super soft, and guys are always picking on him because he hasn't gone through puberty and all that stuff. But yeah, very, like I said, it's a very kind of more of a wholesome manga of just these two characters trying to help each other feel comfortable in their bodies. And like I said, there are a few scenes where it feels a little bit sensual because when the guy is shaving her, just the angles and stuff is a little bit awkward, but it never goes too far. And for what it is, I did enjoy it, and I do like Shuzo Oshimi, so I will continue to pick up any series that he releases in English. So yeah, if you're a Shuzo Oshimi fan, definitely recommend it. Although if you're not, maybe start off with some of his other series, see if you like it, and if you do, then come back and pick up this one shot. But yeah, that's what I'll say for Sweet Poolside. All right, and continuing with Shuzo Oshimi, I did read the entirety of Inside Mari, as you guys can see right here. I'll go ahead and show off each individual volume, but this was definitely one that you can start off with if you haven't read anything Shuzo Oshimi. Very good story, not too bad in terms of like explicit content or anything like that. Although they do show some nudity with Mari, but it's the way that it's done, I think it's appropriate. And Inside Mari is pretty much a story of a guy who's pretty much a loser. He's kind of a shut-in. He quit college. He didn't tell his parents, so he's just kind of wasting their money on video games and food. And one day, he decides to go and follow Mari. She finds her at a shop. She knows that she comes to this shop every time at the same time, and so she decides to follow her one night. And then as he's following her, she turns around, gives him a look, and then the next day he ends up inside of Mari's body. And the rest of the series is just him trying to figure out how this happened and trying to get Mari back into her body, figuring out where Mari is. Yeah, just a very intriguing series. I did enjoy this one quite a bit, and by the end, it had me thinking a lot about identity, my self-identity, my different personas that I have in different areas of my life. Like at work, I act a different way than I do when I'm at home, and with friends, I act a different way than I'm at home. So yeah, just very interesting, thought-provoking, and I really enjoyed this one. It does have some twists and turns, and I'm not gonna lie though, the way that they revealed what exactly was going on, it was okay. I think it could have been done better, but overall, still a fantastic story, and I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I would even put it in my top 3 Shuzo Oshimi works. So yeah, that's kind of saying a lot because I think right now my favorites are Happiness and Flowers of Evil, and then maybe Inside Mari would be number 3. So yeah, I would put this one up there on my list for Shuzo Oshimi. So that's everything for Inside Mari. The next one that I did read, I'm reading one of these per month is what I'm trying to do. So I still need to read my volume for this month, but I do plan to do it in this next week when I'm on vacation. But this is also a fantastic series. I am loving the heck out of Summertime Rendering. And this volume in particular, there was a lot of revelations. You kind of found out exactly what happened with Ushio. I kind of forgot. I haven't read, like I said, I read this once per month. But the cool thing about this series is that every omnibus kind of goes through a new loop, because if you guys have read this series, you guys know it's kind of about time travel. And so anytime our MC character dies, he goes back in time and he just replays through the events that has been going on in this series over again. So kind of every time I read a new omnibus, that happens where we go through a new loop. So even though you don't fully remember what happened in the previous omnibus, just reading through the new omnibus kind of goes through the same events somewhat, and you just kind of recall what happened in the last omnibus. So reading these once per month, I think is a good way to do it. And yeah, a lot of revelations in this one, and I did like that they showed more of the mechanics of what the shadows can do, and I thought that was pretty cool, especially with the copying and them being able to go through walls and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool, and I'm really intrigued to see what happens in the future volumes, although I have heard this one can get confusing towards the end. As of right now, with Omnibus 3, I can follow the story. I know what's going on. I know what the goal is, but I'm curious to see what happens in the next couple of volumes, because a lot of people have said that it gets very confusing, hard to follow. So we'll see. We'll see how Omnibus 4 is when I read it in the next couple of days. But right now, loving it and would definitely recommend this one right here. All right, next up, we got some Zelda manga. We have Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time. And if I flip these around, you see I still have a bookmark in this one, but I don't have one in this one. And that's because I read through this one all the way through, loved it. And I really, I never played through the whole game of Twilight Princess, but reading through the first volume, I have played a little bit of Twilight Princess, and I don't recall anything that happened in this volume as to what happened in the video game. And I thought that was very nice because it kind of feels like they're telling their own story. They're taking their own spin on it, and it is very entertaining. It's kind of dark too, and I love the artwork. If I kind of flip through the artwork, there's a lot of dark shading going on there. But yeah, this one, 2 thumbs up. Really enjoy that one. But this one right here, I started reading through it. I got pretty far, but I kind of got tired of it because it's just recapping what happened in the games, but in a very shortened way. You kind of get through a big section of the game within 1 and 2 chapters, and it's just not, it wasn't very enjoyable for me. In my opinion, I would just rather play the video game. And by the time I got this far into it, I just wanted to read something else, and I did, and I don't plan on ever coming back to finish this one. And it's not bad, it's just not as good as the video game. It's just kind of average, and it would be something good to like read with your son, which I do plan to read this to my son later down the road, to see if he will get into Zelda. Maybe we can play the video game afterwards. But yeah, for now, I wouldn't read this for myself, and I don't want to continue it. So yeah, definitely recommend Twilight Princess over Ocarina of Time. And I feel like the rest of these hardcovers that come in the box set are gonna be pretty similar. So a lot of those games I haven't played, so I'm probably just gonna stick to the games and just keep the box set though, because it is a nice box set and I do love the hardcovers, but just probably won't be reading these until my son is of age where he can kind of understand, and maybe I'll read this as his bedtime story. But yep, those are my thoughts on that. And next up, we have another video game manga. And again, this one was very entertaining, very funny. It is a gag manga, but I love it because it doesn't necessarily follow the storyline of the game, although it kind of does. But because it's a gag manga, it's told in a funny way, and you just wouldn't expect that for something with Elden Ring, which takes itself kind of seriously. But this was a lot of fun, and I can't wait for volume 2. So yeah, definitely recommend that one if you've played Elden Ring. All right, and then the last 2 that we're talking about for me are gonna be Boys Abyss and Oshinoko. And both of these are idol manga. They talk about idols in here and just the struggles of the idol world. But I think I enjoyed Boys Abyss more than Oshinoko, which I know this one is the more popular one right now, but it's just, for Oshinoko, I did enjoy the latter half way more than the beginning. It gets a little bit darker towards the end. The beginning is a little bit more lightheartedness. There is some funny moments in there with our MC being reincarnated as a baby, and we kind of follow the story through his eyes. Yeah, it's not to say that I didn't enjoy Oshinoko. I actually do enjoy it, especially towards the end, and it gets pretty dark. If you guys have read this, you know what I'm talking about, but I am still very much looking forward to volume 2. But Boys Abyss was just kind of good throughout the whole manga. It takes itself a little bit more seriously. It has dark themes in there. Like the way that they're paneled out through here just makes it feel a lot more mature than Oshinoko. And this one really did remind me of Shuzo Oshimi manga, where there's not so much text. You can kind of get through this one pretty quickly. And I was able to get through this in one night, and it was very good. So I just couldn't stop reading. And I can't wait to get volume 2. I honestly don't even want to say too much about this one or this one. I would just say read both of this. I would recommend both of them, but read them both and let me know, you guys let me know in the comments down below which one you guys prefer. But in my opinion, Boys Abyss is the better one at the moment. Maybe Oshinoko gets better down the road, who knows? But yeah, just read both of these and let me know what your thoughts in the comment section down below. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue now with the manga that I've read in June so far. And we're gonna start off with Fire in His Fingertips. I did read this one, and I got to say, this one was super spicy. Like, I know a lot of females like to read this one, and I guess I can kind of understand why. This has like a sex scene in every single chapter, and it's way more graphic than any of the other stuff that I've read, like even more than like Worlds in Horror or anything like that. And it doesn't censor out any of the sex scenes, specifically with the penis, like they just show it. And I recently saw the video from the Meet the Weeb family of his with her spicy manga, and this is definitely a her manga, although I will say that almost in every chapter, he kind of forces himself upon her. So I don't know if females like that. I feel like this is something that mommy weeb wouldn't really enjoy because of that. After the fact, she does always admit that she did enjoy it. So I guess it's fine. But I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy it, and I'm curious to see where this relationship goes. I can see there being a lot more drama down the road. They did introduce some characters towards the end, which I think is gonna bring in some drama. So yeah, I'm gonna continue this one. We'll go ahead and pick up volume 2 and 3 whenever I can find them. Yeah, I think this is definitely more for females than it is for males. But if you are a male, maybe you're like me and you will read this one and you'll enjoy it. So yeah, give it a shot. All right, next up we got Shy Volume 1 and Volume 2. This series is pretty much about heroes throughout the world. I guess we got one hero per country, and Shy, she is the hero for Japan. And as the title says, she is very shy and she's not very confident as a normal hero should be. But I will say throughout the first 2 volumes, she already has a bit of character growth. She's kind of trying to get through her shyness, but it's obviously still gonna be there. But I do really like her character. I would say that she's probably my favorite character in the series so far. And that's pretty much what I like mainly about this series. I'm not too into the main storyline. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of the other heroes. I mean, I like her, but pretty much just these 2 heroes are the ones that I like. In Volume 2, they did start to go a little bit into how their powers work and how they got them. And it seems like they're gonna cover that a little bit more in future volumes. But I don't know, right now, I would say this is just an average series. It's okay. I think the main villains too are kind of weak right now. He just kind of popped up out of nowhere and he's like the main villain right now. I don't know if he's gonna be the main villain throughout the series, but they did go through the trouble of giving them a name, the group of the villains a name. So I'm pretty sure they might be the villains throughout the series. So yeah, overall, it's all right. I think I am still going to continue it just because I do like Shy and I want to see her growth throughout the series. But I don't know, if you guys have read ahead and you guys still think it's just a mediocre series, let me know in the comment sections down below before I decide to continue reading this series, if I should continue it or not. Let me know your thoughts down below. Definitely help me out here. But yep, for now, it's all right. One that I am really enjoying, we got... Well, these next 2 I am actually really enjoying. I like these both quite a bit, but the first one is Murcielago, volumes 1, 2, and 3. This is a badass series right here. We got this girl right here who she was on death row, but instead of killing her, the government decided to use her abilities to help them out basically. And she's pretty much has like a sixth sense. She can tell whenever there's any danger. She's just pretty much able to block anything that's about to kill her. But she's also badass. She knows how to fight. She can take care of herself, but she's also a pervert, and she's actually a lesbian. She loves girls. She loves cute girls that look cute, like this girl and that girl, which I'm assuming they're in college, but it's not 100% clear. So I don't know how appropriate this is, but I'm pretty sure they mentioned that she's in college. But yeah, kind of weird, but I don't know. I think it's funny throughout the series how there was even one like arc where she gets invited to a mansion. Like a lot of assassins and killers were invited to this mansion, and the guy that invited them was planning to kill them all. Sent everybody different invitations based on their likes to get them to go to the mansion. And for her, he sent them an invitation of girls wearing bunny suits. And as soon as she saw that, she's like, I'm in. Where's this party at? And it was funny because when she got there, well, there was no bunny girls, and she was like, where's all the damn bunny girls? So yeah, very funny series. I'm really enjoying this one. It is definitely mature. There's a lot of mature content throughout here, but it also has a lot of great action moments. The artwork is really good too. If I flip through a few pages here, like look at that. I think that the artwork is actually great in this series. She's not like a super sexy girl, like she's just okay, but she's cool and I like her. I like her character. I enjoy like the little things that she does, like flipping her head to the side when she's being serious. I don't know, really cool series. Like I said, artwork is amazing. So definitely going to continue to pick this one up. I think I have up to volume 10, and I'm going to probably continue to pick that one up because I'm really enjoying that one, and I would definitely recommend it. And then this next one, is this all the same series? No. So we got 2 volumes of Heavenly Delusions, and this is one that I've been reading most recently. And when I picked up volume 1, I couldn't stop reading it, guys. I was reading it at a Pokemon competition, and I found myself wanting to read this more than I did want to participate in the Pokemon tournament that I was playing in, because every time the new groupings went up, I would just keep reading it until I was done with the chapter and then go over to my next round. But yeah, this is a post-apocalyptic world. These are the 2 main characters here, although the intrigue here and the interesting thing is that there's also another group of children that are in this school that's stationed outside of the real world, and so they've never seen what this part of the world looks like. And it kind of gives me the vibes of, what is that movie called? The Maze Runner? Yeah, Maze Runner, that's what it is. But I think this is done in a much better way, and I'm really curious how it is that we have 2 people that look identical. Like these 2 characters look the same, and I believe she kind of looks like her. And up to where I've read so far, they haven't explained why that is, but I am very much interested to find out what the heck is going on here and why there are people that look the same. Did they create clones of everyone? If so, what's the reason? And then there's also monsters throughout this series, which they haven't really explained how those monsters are created either. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff in here and answers that I'm wanting to find out. But unfortunately, I've only picked up till volume 3, so I will need to pick up more because I'm probably gonna finish volume 3 today. So yeah, definitely recommend Heavenly Delusions. Probably one of my favorite things that I've read in a while. And then the last thing that we have here is Look Back, a short story or a one-shot by Tatsuki Fujimoto. This was a very sad story here. It was very good. I did enjoy it quite a bit. I got through this really quickly. It's a really quick one-shot. There's not too much words here, as you guys can see right here. But yeah, really enjoyed this one, and I've heard Goodbye Eri is even better than this, so can't wait to check that out, as well as some of Tatsuki Fujimoto's one-shots. Really been enjoying his stuff. I love Chainsaw Man, love this. I think those are the only 2 things I've read so far, but pretty much looking forward to on any of his future stuff, including Fire Punch. I still need to read that. I have that, so yeah, I might try to read that next month because, like I said, I'm really enjoying his stuff. I love his art style. I love the way that he draws. I can get through his stuff pretty quickly, similar to Shuzo Oshimi, so that's also a plus. But that's it, guys. That's gonna be everything that I've read since from May to now. I know my manga reading logs aren't the best. I'm trying to not spoil as much because in the past I know that I do talk about pretty big plot points in the series, so trying to stop that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm mostly also doing this for me to kind of track all the manga that I'm reading. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video.